Hello, this is Hal DeSaussure, your virtual bar president, coming again to give you another message for this year. Again, as we're getting past Thanksgiving in the year 2020. I am sure that I join many with you to wish a speedy conclusion to the year 2020. More than any other year, I so want this year to be the year that was rather than the interminable year that still is. I know we are getting there. We have about a month to go. As we start to put 2020 in the rearview mirror, though, it is interesting to ponder just what has been accomplished during this time. As the pandemic has ebbed and flowed and is coming back again in some ways, we have had to adapt and stay productive and connected. And in some ways, 2020 is as much about our ability to adapt as it has been about our ability to protect ourselves from disease. Social and professional interactions have not ceased, they have simply changed. And in some ways, we have all changed as well. This message isn't about whether or how we have changed and whether it's for the good or for the ill. But I'm sure that as we look back on 2020 at some point in time, this will be a watershed year in many respects. It will likely be a watershed year for the Akron Bar Association as well. The Bar Association, like all professional organizations, has had to adapt too. The fact is that the business of all professional organizations, and this bar in particular, is now being conducted in ways that were unimagined. And they appear to be things that we are going to have to continue to adapt and to work towards as we move forward. But the business of the Bar Association is being conducted. And as we look now into 2021, and we're planning for events that typically have punctuated our year, such as the gala, Law Week, the annual meeting, these are all events that we still have no idea how they're going to be conducted, but they will be conducted. And at this point in time, I ask you, as these things do pop up on your calendar, to plan to attend. I think one of the things that we should find interesting about this is just how the creative juices have flowed to create so that we can see how these events will transpire. For no other reason, come and see what the creative juices of the Bar Association has brought about for these events. This has been the continuing work of the staff and the board, being creative, being imaginative, being adaptive. It is still a work in progress, but it has been an interesting and rewarding work. And as we move forward along these lines, I want to give a couple of examples of those things that have been truly imaginative events for us. Over the last month, we've had the Foundation Fellows Breakfast. This is the annual breakfast put on by the Bar Foundation for those members, those fellows of the Akron Bar Foundation. Typically, it's a breakfast, very collegial, where there are jokes and speeches made about the work that is being done by the Akron Bar Foundation. Obviously, could not happen the way we normally would happen. So how did it occur this year? In a parking lot where people drove up in their cars, picked up bags of breakfast, and waved to each other while listening on a radio station tuned to a particular frequency, where Judge Tammy O'Brien, the Bar Foundation president, gave a talk about the work of the foundation. It was remote, but it was interesting and it was fun. We also had the Professionalism Award. This is typically a celebration for the Bar Association to celebrate one of its own and somebody who is to highlight the career of somebody who truly brings meaning to professionalism in the practice of law. This year was no exception. It was great to see the celebration of the career of Archie Skidmore, who passed the bar in 1955 and is still practicing today. And this was conducted via Zoom. It was conducted in a way that everybody was participating, looked at the speeches, heard Archie talk, heard his family talk. And I have to say that as a Zoom event, and this was extremely touching, and it really was meaningful. And I know it had true meaning for Archie and his family and for the Bar Association as well. These are events which are easy to attend now, but they're different. But we have this opportunity to do these things and to provide this sort of creative enterprise for the Bar Association. And Archie Skidmore's professionalism dinner was truly remarkable. We also had the retirement of Joe Kodish. He has been the public defender for Summit County for 30 years. And his retirement was recorded on Zoom and was with participants as well. Truly a meaningful event that is something that was different, but still quite touching. As we talk about the work of the Bar Association, I also want to bring special mention to the work that was undertaken by Karen Adinolfi, our past president, and Alan Nichols, our executive director. As you know, over the last year, Karen and Alan in particular have been working on the issue of the fees for appointed counsel in criminal cases. These fees have been basically unchanged for 15 to 20 years. And all of the criminal referrals and the appointments for indigent criminal defendants, the attorneys are paid under this system, which has been basically stagnant for a number of years. And Karen and the Bar Association worked very hard with the Summit County, with Deb Matz of the Summit County, and with the judges to try to effect a change and an increase in those appointed fees. And those fees have increased, and primarily the caps for those fees were raised. And this was truly a good work undertaken by the Bar Association that came to fruition this last month with the announcement by the Summit County. So it was remarkable work. It started last year, pre-pandemic, but it concluded this year. And it is a tribute to the hard work of a lot of people, including those at the Bar Association that have worked on behalf of the criminal defense bar. Finally, as I bring this message to a close, I cannot fail to mention the passing of another icon in the Akron legal community. In this case, it's the Honorable Judge James Williams. Judge Williams served as the first African-American judge on the Summit County Common Pleas bench. He served 15 years on the bench from 1990 until 2005 when he retired. Judge Williams was a gentleman in every respect. He was gracious, and he had a way of making an attorney who was advancing a foolish argument feel quite small at times, and I'm speaking from personal experience. Judge Williams was always the gentleman, and he would never yell. But what he would do is he'd get this little smile on his face when it was clear that you were making no point that was gaining any ground with him. And I learned that you kind of had to read the room, so to speak. And Judge Williams was astute, adept, but always a pleasure to practice in front of. And I know that while he retired, many years ago, his passing was noted this year, and he was truly an icon to this community and a blessing for us as well. So we're looking into 2021, and we're putting this year in our rearview mirror, and hopefully 2021 will be an astounding year for this Bar Association and for the work that we will do. And I appreciate all the efforts that you bring to bear with us as a member of this professional organization. It'll be a great year. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of good work, and we will continue our adaptation moving forward. Thank you.